men were getting shot at here at 22nd and Blaisdell, actively shooting.
There were multiple shots fired! Multiple shots fired! Top down! There's a top down!
Minneapolis, Minnesota is known as the City of Lakes, and it has a population of over 419,000 residents. It is known for its art museums and is home of the historical Guthrie Hall. But although Minneapolis is known for all these great things, it is also known to be the place where George Floyd was tragically murdered by ex-Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, who was later convicted of second-degree murder. But not all cops are bad cops. On Thursday, May 30th, 2024, Minneapolis police were called to the scene of a reported shooting near 22nd Street and Blaisdell Avenue. According to CBS News, the first responding officer saw two men with injuries lying in the street. The officer approached one of the men and asked if he needed help. And without hesitation, the man opened fire on the officer in an ambush attack, murdering 36-year-old Minneapolis police officer Jamal Mitchell. And his story deserves to be written and told. Welcome to Crime She Wrote. Officer Jamal Mitchell was a native of Minnesota. He was a father of 3, fiance, son, and mentor, just to name a few. His police chief said he is a hero who had been with the Minneapolis Police Department since 2022. His peers described him to be one of the best police officers, hardworking, dedicated, and he selflessly gave his life every day to protect the community. He had a promising future in law enforcement until it was cut to a tragic end.
Mitchell was responding to reports of a shooting on Blaisdell Avenue when officials say he was ambushed. What have we learned tonight?
Yeah, that's right, Amy. We're now learning Mitchell was the first responding officer on the scene that day and that he radioed in saying he observed 2 men with injuries in the street. The BCA detailing how he then approached Mustafa Muhammad, who was sitting next to a parked car, and asked if he was hurt or needed help. That's when officials say Muhammad pulled out a gun and shot Mitchell at close range, continuing to shoot him until backup arrived, then shooting at those officers who returned fire, eventually killing him.
According to the reports, once the suspect began shooting at Officer Mitchell, it is reported that other responding officers began to fire back at the suspect, who was ultimately shot to death on the scene.
As he was attempting to provide assistance to them, medical assistance, he was ambushed.
Today, the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension going into further detail, saying Mitchell was the first to respond to reports of a shooting at the apartment on Blaisdell just after 5 p.m. on Thursday, radioing back that he saw 2 injured people on the street. When he approached 35-year-old Mustafa Muhammad and asked if he was hurt or needed help, Muhammad pulled out a handgun and shot the officer without warning.
There are not words to appropriately describe this tragedy because they just don't exist. This is the worst call a police chief can get.
Additional to the suspect murdering Officer Mitchell, a civilian was also shot to death. 2 other civilians were wounded, one in gravely condition and one in critical condition, as well as another MPD officer and firefighter was injured.
Authorities saying that Mitchell, another officer, and that suspect were all injured during that gunfire. That suspected shooter, he died there at the scene, while Mitchell, he later died at the hospital. Now, as for that other officer who was shot, officials say he suffered a non-life-threatening injury and has since been released from the hospital. Police say inside of that apartment building where that original call for help came from, 2 more victims were found. One of them was dead, the other described overnight as in grave condition. Now, outside of that South Minneapolis apartment, another victim was found shot while in his vehicle, and a Minneapolis firefighter was also injured during this gunfire. Both, though, authorities say have since been released from the hospital. Now, this investigation it now lies with the Minnesota BCA, who says that that deadly ambush, it was captured on Officer Mitchell's body camera. That is expected to be released in the coming days and weeks, but also we're expected to learn much more about that suspect as well as the many victims in this, Leanne Paul, also in the days and weeks ahead.
Officer Mitchell was honored for his work in February 2023 after being on the job for just 3 days for saving an elderly couple out of the front door of their burning home. This story gained national attention and was included in CNN Beyond the Call of Duty series.
You know, it's very clear that this officer was very well loved within his department, being with the Minneapolis Police Department for just about 1 year. His colleagues already say that he was exceptional in every way. In fact, just on his 3rd day on the job, his 3rd day, Officer Jamal Mitchell received an award for saving an older couple from a fire. We brought you that coverage here of the rescue earlier this year, including this body cam video of the incident unfolding. The police department also says Mitchell was a father and engaged to be married and a rare person to find.
Jamal Mitchell, he was a hero. I've never met an officer that received an award on the 3rd day on the job during his FTO. He's courageous in every action that he did. He was a wonderful human being. He had only been on our department about 1.5 years, and he was exceptional in every way.
Now let's get into the details of this case. According to the reports, the suspect is 35-year-old Mustafa Ahmad Muhammad. Muhammad had a lengthy criminal history. He had been in and out of serious trouble with law enforcement for more than half of his life, according to court records. At the time of his death, 2 warrants were active for his arrest in connection with charges that he possessed a gun in downtown Minneapolis in summer of 2022, in violation of the terms of his sentences for burglary in 2006 and 2007. So it appears to me that he was a repeat offender. And in my opinion, the justice system needs to do a better job of keeping repeat offenders locked up. Because typically, if they are released, some of them normally will commit crimes again. Officer Mitchell was the first Minneapolis police officer to be murdered in the line of duty in over 2 decades. Violent crimes are on the rise in America today, and it's not even safe for those that are hired and trained to protect and serve. So be aware of people, places, and things that can bring harm to you and your family in your everyday lives. I offer my sincere condolences and prayers to the family, friends, and fellow officers of Officer Jamal Mitchell. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Let me know your thoughts on this story in the comment section below. And before you leave, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until next time, Crime Mob, stay safe out there and always watch your surroundings. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.